What was it?
Off at age 15.
Carter?
Off at age 15.
I couldn't get it.
Off 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8.
Off at 8:15.
Oh, that's the 8:15.
Yeah.
I'll put you the thing in 8:15. Yeah. Off at 8:15.
Chair, fellow speakers and guests. What is it that you care about? And when you think of that, you might think, oh, maybe the environment, maybe some people, maybe pets. And notice there's a difference between the question, what is it that you care about, and what is it that you care for? So what is it that is so important to us? And often what we care about and what we care for sometimes are the same thing, but that's dictated by our values, what's important to us. Recall during the pandemic, what was it that people cared about? Their family, the NHS, the key workers, and everybody was clapping. And now we care about making sure that the NHS doesn't get into private hands. So the staff in the NHS, they care about the patients that they are looking after. All to do with health. So what about your health? Do you care about your health? I'd like you to consider those people that you might have been thinking about at the beginning. Those that you care for, and maybe those that you care about. Think about the top 5. And if you haven't got 5, then 3 will do. And I hope you've at least got some. Have you got them? Okay, and maybe you've already put them in a bit of a list. So bear those in mind. Of those 5 people, did you put your name on that list? No. Did anybody put their name on that list? No. And I wonder why. How come, if you have all these people that you care for and all these things that you care about, that you are not at least somewhere on that list? Surely it makes sense. But that would be considered self-care, wouldn't it? And maybe self-care is considered as selfish. So we don't do that because we don't want to be seen as selfish, do we? Who's been on an aeroplane? And who's heard the announcements? When the oxygen mask comes down, what are you meant to do? You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And why would that be? Why would you put yourself first when you've got young children? Surely they need to go first. That principle applies and everything else in our life too. Because if we are not here to look after ourselves and put ourselves first, then we become a burden on somebody else. They are going to look after us. Hopefully, and maybe not. to make a difference in someone's life, you don't have to be brilliant, rich, beautiful, or perfect. You do have to care. Caring means giving somebody their undivided attention. Giving them your undivided attention. And you clearly care about this speech because I can see you're giving me your undivided attention. And I really don't care about what it is that you care about or who you care for. But what I do care about is the fact that on that list of 5 people, or maybe you have 10, maybe you only have 3, that at least your name is on that list. And your name takes priority, at least as often as everybody else on that list comes to the top. You're not necessarily looking after your children 24/7, but they are your priority if you have children, at least some of the time. And then when they're asleep, you go, okay, now I need to go and look after somebody else. But somewhere in your day, in your week, or in your month, please make you your priority.
Oh, we can ask you questions.
Oh, yes, you can ask questions. If you have any. Fire away.
I disagree with putting your name on there, because as you said, it's an act of selfishness that maybe you don't want to be there, you just want to focus on other people and not yourself.
But if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after anybody else. Same as with what she
Well,
said about the
I
other
think you're
name.
more in reference to younger children. Well, mine are growing up.
But
When I
no.
tell my folks, they're not going to look after me. I'm not expecting them
So
to.
if you don't look after yourself, if you don't look after your health, you smoke, you drink, you don't never do any exercise, you don't sleep enough, do you think you're going to make it to finish your box for your
You just have to
wedding?
stay alive for 4 months.
Do you think you're going to make it those 4 months? If you're careless crossing the
I'm
road,
not trying to be careless.
but that's putting you first,
But I
making
do
sure that
but I
you.
don't smoke, so I can,
I think you wouldn't be here if you weren't thinking of yourself.
No, I think of myself, for myself, but you were saying give a list. So where do you come in on this list? Well, I'm going to be down at the bottom, trying to help everybody else.
And that's often the case, and that causes physical health and mental health issues. Because
I don't
the
have to.
self,
I don't have to be on a list for that.
because the self tends to come last,
Mm.
and that means we don't have enough self-value.
I think that's a generalisation.
Mm.
I mean, I thought when you said about the list that it's given that you look after yourself first.
Some people don't.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. What you're generalising, that everybody should have a list and they put themselves at the bottom when they don't. I would myself say that I've got to look after myself because nobody else will. So it's a given that I'm looking after myself. And if I'm asked to produce a list of other people, that's what I do, other people, not me, because I'm looking after myself anyway.
You're on a list of 1.
Exactly.
But
That's
did you
how I
actually say other
It's
people?
like you're given.
No, I said of 5 people,
Yeah, I don't think you said other people.
other people, no, 5 people. And are we on that list?
But we're not
And-
all abusing ourselves. That's what I'm trying to say.
So,
And if you do, you're then on somebody else's list.
That's another story.
So we never continue to work when we're thinking, oh God, I'm tired, I really ought to go to bed and leave that job till tomorrow morning. Or I really shouldn't eat this cake because I know it's bad for me. That's us not putting ourselves at the top of that list.
Well, it is because you're allowing yourself a little treat, or
Yes.
you're allowing yourself to finish what you're doing without, real detriment to yourself.
And if that was your partner, your child, even as an adult, doing those kinds of things, would you be okay with it?
Well, it's up to them to lead their lives the way they want to lead it, really. But you would.
But it's that sense of
I mean,
care.
if they're doing something really bad all the time, like drinking a bottle of wine every night, then yes, you would, perhaps intervene. But just because they want to go to bed 10 minutes later on the odd occasion, I wouldn't interfere with that.
No, maybe not 10 minutes, but it's that, where is that line? It's a very fine line.
It's different for everybody.
That's it. It is an individual thing. But
I think it's when it becomes the default as well, when you're at the bottom of that list or not even on that list all the time.
all of the time.
Yeah, it's that default thing that, well, I don't matter, it's everybody else that matters.
The kids take priority, the parents, looking after the parents take priority, the social club takes priority, the grandchildren, or everybody takes priority. I think, I would love to just lie in the bath and have an hour of peace and quiet. No. These other things have to be done first, and so the bath never comes.
I think it depends on your circumstances, because it can change so very dramatically and very quickly. Because I was caring for my husband where I had to be on top of the ball all the time with him, her dementia and various other health problems, and I had a couple of dogs and all this, and it was very, very time consuming. It was very difficult to think for myself. And then it came to a place where I didn't have any of them. I don't hear or see from my family, in fact, from 1 week to the next. And I have a neighbour that's now in hospital I've been to see, and I take her a meal occasionally, but I can't really say that I'm caring for her. So I actually struggled about who I should put on that list. Because I'm just there, often thinking, who can I pick up a phone and who can I invite over and who needs help, and then it turns out I can't find anybody.
But maybe that is...
So I do go to bed whatever time I want to. I do get up whenever I want to. I do sort of.
And that's the thing.
It's difficult. My circumstances
have
so changed.
Yeah, circumstances will change who is on that list. So.
But is your assumption that it came across, you're assuming that most people are not putting themselves on that list or high enough up on that list?
They don't have that sense of priority for themselves as much as they would if it was their child, their parent or their partner being the main priority.
But is that everybody? You think that about everybody? Well, I mean, the audience, how do we know? Some people could be just living for themselves.
I think if people are putting other people first most of the time, that's a good thing.
Yes.
I don't look at any more problems, I think that's true.
Yes. But if you never put yourself on the top, you must be better at it.
I'm on the list of one, so we'll just go from there. I guess we vote on, was this informative? And if it was, raise your hand. If it wasn't, don't raise your hand.
Well, that, it was perspective rather than informing on, it was a view, wasn't it? Rather than,
But
it was thought-provoking.
Yeah, it was.
So it was informative about that.
Yeah.
On that aspect.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. I think we were informed. We were provoked.
I didn't say that.
Thank you. Okay, and